So I've been playing this game, Sweet Home, on an emulator on the computer here. And if you don't know what Sweet Home is, it was the original survival horror game that Resident Evil was originally going to be a remake of this game. And then instead, it was changed into its own game and just became kind of the spiritual successor in that regard. And this game only came out in Japan because of how graphic and violent it was, and Nintendo of America didn't approve of that sort of thing, so they wouldn't allow it to come out in the US. So for Japan, this was their first survival horror game, and then Resident Evil became the US and I think Europe's first survival horror game that was released there, because like I said, this one only got released in Japan. So what I'm playing right now is actually a translated English translated version of the game, and it's really cool. So it's an RPG, and you have these 5 characters. And like any RPG, there's random encounters like that, and they have these cool images. And it's kind of like Earthbound or anything like that, or Undertale, where you see the monster sprite there, and then sometimes they flash or do something, but for the most part they don't do anything. Like, you don't see your characters, but you can fight like that, and you have different things in your inventory. You can each character has their own special item that only they have, and as you can probably see, I named my characters after my friends, Kevin and Owen. So Owen here, he has a vacuum. So hold on. If I switch to Owen, I have a vacuum, and these are shards of glass here. If I look, it says sharp glass is everywhere, and so we can't walk over that. But I can use the vacuum and suck it all up, and then you can pass through. And so you probably don't recognize the vacuum or the camera, but you probably do recognize these characters here. This first character, whom I named after myself, has a lighter, just like Chris from the original Resident Evil. And then this person right here, whom I named Scout, she has a key that unlocks almost any door in the game, and so she is the master of unlocking, like Jill Valentine. And when you use her key to unlock a door, you see a cutscene of the door opening slowly, just like in Resident Evil. And then right here, we have the medic character, whom I just named Mary after Mary from Silent Hill 2, because I couldn't think of anything else to name her. She has a first aid kit that can heal people, and so she's like Rebecca Chambers. So those 3 characters and their special abilities were kind of carried over to Resident Evil, and that was sort of a leftover from that game originally being a remake of this game. However, the 2 characters that do not get used are the vacuum person and the camera person, because I don't think that would have made sense in the context of the STARS team. But it makes sense here because these guys aren't supposed to be soldiers. They're supposed to be I think reporters, and they're doing a movie shoot or something, or filming a documentary or something. I don't know. And they are particularly interested in a lot of the art that is around the mansion that they're exploring, and a lot of the art is just covered in dust and shit, so they need the vacuum guy to be there to clean all that up. Yeah. But the thing that finally made me want to make this video, the reason I finally wanted to make this video was because of this. I found this note, And when I read it, it says, "A note with fresh ink. To those who follow, the diary key is hidden. A clue is in the basement. You must escape this house of residing evil." So, yeah, you must escape this house of residing evil. Now, this is the English translated version of Sweet Home, and I don't know if that was put in there later, or if the original game does directly translate to that. Because, like, maybe whoever translated it to English, at least this version that I'm playing here, put that in there as an intentional nod to Resident Evil, after the fact. But it's possible that that's where they got the idea to call it Resident Evil, at least here in America, because in Europe it's called, like, Biohazard, I think. But that's really cool. I just thought that was really neat.